Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Summit Alliance Advantage Thursday training call today, or webinar. I want to welcome everyone to our training, and we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Many of you, know what we do at Summit Alliance Advantage, and the markets that we focus on, with that, we feel like these are great markets of focus in the insurance industry. Many of you have heard me say before, when it comes to working in the insurance industry, there's so many different markets that you can work in. And we've really found the markets, again, of focus that are very profitable, that allow an agent to come in and learn a simple-to-learn product, a simple product to get the client covered with, and a simple product to get paid with. And insurance companies want this business, and again, we've identified that. We've identified all of that. It all works hand in hand. It works so well together. And today what we're going to talk about is the final expense market. I kind of want to dive into that in a little bit more detail. A lot of us know what final expense is. Of course, it's insurance to provide the financial resources for, for surviving family members to bury a loved one, to take care of the final expenses. And we know the cost of final expenses is drastically increasing. This is, sometimes I get a chuckle out of this, but we know that 10 out of 10 people will die, will pass away. There's no one that's exempt from that statistic. And, we also know that in this market, there's a huge need for the product. I'm sure many of you on the call have been in a situation where you've had to help pay for someone's final expenses, or you've had to help fund a GoFundMe page here recently, donate to a GoFundMe page. So there's so many different, ways that people try to take care of it. And, but it's a lot easier for someone to have a final expense policy in place, especially if they haven't taken the time to prepare or, make sure that that is taken care of. And, with that, people, sometimes they may depend on, Social Security, but unfortunately, upon passing, there's a lump sum of $255 paid. That's not enough to cover for final expenses again. So, it's a lot easier for us to get people in a position where they can have that protection, they can have that peace of mind, knowing, that if something were to happen, their family's not left with that thousands of dollars worth of debt, and something that's feasible for their budget. That's very important, that we make it fit in their budget. Now, again, what I just went over, what I just talked about, the expenses, what is final expense, there's also medical bills along with the funeral expenses that can possibly, incur with, the passing of a loved one. And again, so there can be so much to take care of. And, so having that money set aside, having that plan in place, is going to alleviate the family stress. It's going to alleviate, the hardship and maybe the bickering amongst loved ones as far as how things are to go according to plan. Well, this is more important to take care of than this, but we don't have enough money to take care of both. We got to pick. So again, for someone to have a final expense program in place, that's huge for the family. It's huge for them. It's great peace of mind for them, and it's great security for their family, knowing, again, that they're not left with that cost. A great thing about our market too, of course, we deal in the senior market, which, again, the great thing about that is there's a lot of people that have a need. But we also, a great thing about our products is that we have the ability to cover those medical challenges, that could be common in the, in this market. A lot of things that clients run into. We can cover things like COPD. We can cover things like neuropathy, heart conditions, or maybe someone is outside of the build guidelines with the company that they were looking at before. Again, and we also have products to cover medical challenges that go beyond that. We have the guaranteed issue products if needed, but in most cases, we're able to find an immediate death benefit for most health ailments. So, doing what's best for your client in final expense is very important. A lot of clients will, get the idea that they need final expense because of a commercial they saw on TV. And little do they know that a lot of those programs may not necessarily be in their best interest. They have a 2-year waiting period before they cover. They're only guaranteed for 5 years because it's a 5-year renewable term. So again, these types of programs may not be in their best interest. We work with carriers that specifically focus on these types of products that are in these clients' best interest, that will provide day one immediate death benefit coverage. Carriers like Royal Neighbors, they accept neuropathy, do not have a height and weight guideline. It takes 20 minutes to do the application over the phone, and you have an instant decision, so your client knows right away that they have the security of protection, and then you get paid within 48 hours. Again, that's part of why we've identified the market, why we've identified the carriers, why we've identified these products that are all working hand in hand to allow, the clients to be taken care of and the agents to be taken care of financially. So, final expense, a great market. And what I just talked about, in 1999, the youngest baby boomer was 35 years old. The oldest was 53. And in January of 2011, more than 10,000 people a day will be turning at 65 years of age. During the next 20 years, it's going to be, it's said to go that way for the next 20 years, and that's actually growing. There's more people turning of age between baby boomers and seniors retiring every single day. And what's great about this market is, they're going to have, a need for a whole range of insurance protection products, financial protection products, especially final expense. Again, so this means that as long as we have people to see, people that have a need for the coverage, that's business security to me. The market, it's a great market because it's a simple approach. It's pretty cut and dry. The products are pretty cut and dry, very easy to learn, simple products, no medical exam, simple to present. Your presentations, should be very simple. We have the training on the presentations available, recorded, and, again, this is one of the most I guess in its simplest form of insurance is to go out there and market. And, again, when the client passes away, their family's going to, be provided the financial resources to take care of their final expenses. I mentioned how easy the application process is, especially with Royal Neighbors. Again, the carriers that we work with, we issue, we look to get the business issued on jet issue status, which means fast commissions, which means we get paid right away as agents. Cash flow is king in this business, and you have to put money in the bank, and the best way to do that is use carriers that want the products, that will issue the business, and that will pay commissions right away. Again, we have so many people to market to, so many people that need the coverage, and just about everyone needs their final expenses taken care of in some shape, form, or fashion. So, again, it's a great market. Now, how do we market for these clients in final expense? There's two different ways that we reach out to clients for final expense. There's also two different ways that we handle the leads, and I'm going to talk quite a bit about that on this slide here. Now, with the two different ways that we generate clients or reach out to clients and let them know about the benefits that they're eligible for, the first way is telemarketing. Now, the benefits to telemarketing are the leads generate quickly. You can place a telemarketing lead order. You can have those leads right away in most cases, and in 2 to 3 days in most cases. Depending on the area, sometimes it may take a little longer to get those generated. But again, they generate a lot more quickly than direct mail. Also, the leads are exclusive, just like our direct mail leads. It's also an inexpensive marketing option. With direct mail, you could be looking at a higher bulk cost to get, to mail out 1,000 pieces of mail. But then at the same time, we also have a set cost for direct mail where you can order, if you're worried about the rate of return, then you can order a set amount of leads each week. That way you don't have to mail out 1,000 and worry about only getting back 5 or 2 or 3 or something like that. You can say, well, I want 5 leads a week, and we'll take care of the mail, and you can just, get those as they come in. Now, again, to continue with telemarketing, I'll get into a little bit more detail on how that direct mail works. But really, we look at telemarketing as an appetizer to direct mail. Now, why do we say that? With direct mail, there is you can market to everyone. There's not a do not mail list. But with telemarketing, there's a thing called the do not call list. And so with that, if you have an area that has, let's say, has 500,000 people, and out of that, let's say 250,000 meet the demographics for seniors, right, for final expense clients. over age 50, incomes between 18 and 50,000, and again, so these people meet the demographics. But in most cases, you're going to have anywhere from 40 to 60% of those people on the do not call list. So right there, that 250,000 people that you had to notify of the benefits they're eligible for is immediately cut in half or more. So that's why we have to generate telemarketed leads by county, so we can incorporate more data, so we can get the leads generated. When you think of direct mail is generated by zip code. It's more consistent because you can market to more people. There, again, as I mentioned, there's not a do not mail list. We have a low cost to mail. Again, with our direct mail, you're able to mail for 39 cents per mailer. Only 39 cents per mail. If you go look at any mail house to go do direct mail marketing, you're going to pay a minimum of 46 cents per mailer and as high as 56 cents or sometimes even more per mailer, per postcard to go out to the clients. That's, for postage and return postage. Because again, when the client fills this out, they just stick it in the mailbox and mail it back. Postage is taken care of. So you can do that. You can do 1,000 pieces of mail out and in for 39 cents per mailer with us. Again, we're covering some of that cost. Now, if you're worried about the rate of return, as I mentioned earlier, I mail out 1,000 I'm worried about getting back 5 leads or whatever the case may be. Then we can do the mail for you, and you can pay for the direct mail at a set cost, $32 per lead as a set cost. So, with that, if you were to mail out 1,000 at 39 cents per mailer, and if you get back 15 of them, you're doing great. You're less than $30 a lead, $25, $26 per lead. But if you mail out 1,000 and you only get back, let's say 10, that's $39 per lead. Now that's not bad. I know a lot of places out there who are in the business of generating leads. That's what they do, is generate leads. Their lead cost is anywhere from $42 and up for the same type of direct mail final expense lead. So again, either way, we are making sure that we're helping out. We're in the boat with you. When we go to generate leads, we generate leads for one reason only. That's so we can write business that goes issue paid. Again, that's very important. That's why our leads are exclusive for the agents that we generate them for. So when these leads are generated for you, you know that you're the only agent that's going to get the lead. Same thing with our telemarketing. As a matter of fact, with our telemarketing, we record the call so you can hear the conversation between the telemarketer and the client. We mention the agent's name. We get a security question as far as a favorite color or maybe a favorite hobby. So again, we're taking all the steps we can to improve the quality, because ultimately we want to get clients covered. We get paid from the insurance carriers, not from the leads that we generate. There's a lot of companies out there, it's in reverse. They'll sell the lead to Agent A. If Agent A doesn't make a sale, they'll continue to sell that lead. And if any of the agents that have ever purchased that lead have mailed a sale or not, it doesn't matter to them, because they've made their profit off of selling the lead multiple times. So having an exclusive lead, again, we're working with career-minded partnered agents. So if we're equipping you with all the carriers that you'll need, all the products that you need, and we're providing you with the right direction, okay, here's the products that are going to be in the best interest of your client, then there's no reason to continue to make that lead trickle down and have agents crawling all over clients for the business. Again, we keep them exclusive, we keep them high quality, we keep them generated. That way agents can have people to see, so we can write business that goes issue paid. So, understanding the marketing, understanding the difference between the two, I really look at telemarketing as a supplement or an appetizer to direct mail. Telemarketing will get you going, it'll get you going quickly. You can still be profitable with telemarketing, but direct mail, you generate them by zip code, so you keep yourself in a more condensed area. They're a more consistent lead to generate, because again, you can market. There's not a do not mail list, and at the same time, it has a higher close rate. So the people that have taken the time to fill the letter out and mail it back in, that's why we have you notice the little ribbon there, best choice, because these people have taken the initiative. They've taken the time to fill it out and mail it back in. They've sifted through their junk mail and identified this as something that they have a need for, and they've taken the time to fill it out and mail it back. Now again, with telemarketing, we've taken all the steps we can to improve the quality of the lead. We record the call, we mention your name, we get a security question, but the initiative is not as great as it is with someone that has taken the time to fill out a direct mail. So again, that's why we have a higher close rate with direct mail, you're going to get a phenomenal return on investment with marketing, just marketing in general. So, utilize the marketing, understand how we get in front of our final expense clients, and, take advantage of that. These are great ways to get in front of the clients. Now, real quick, I mentioned earlier that we handle these leads two different ways. We handle telemarketing leads. These leads have been reached out to by phone. These clients have, the initial contact was made by phone. The telemarketer lets the client know the name of the agent that will be in contact with them in the next 24 to 48 hours. So these people are expecting your call. So that's why with telemarketing leads only, you can go out and you can set the appointments and go run them. Again, you're generating those by county, so you want to keep yourself in a condensed area. So you want to call and set those appointments. Again, these people have been reached out to by phone. They're expecting your call. And this appointment setting script is available in the back office. You may have heard me say this before. It's a script. It's great. It works. It's short. It's sweet. It gets the appointment. But you don't want to sound scripted when you're setting your appointments. You want to sound conversational. When I contact my clients off of a telemarketing lead, hi, may I speak to Bertha? Hi, Bertha, the reason for my call, you just spoke to our representative at the Senior Care Center about your final expense and benefits, and you indicated that your favorite color was blue. Oh, yeah, that's right, I did. Okay, great. Well, my name's Jason. I've been assigned to your file. I'm going to be in your area this weekend. I only need about 10 to 12 minutes to see if we can get you qualified for the benefits. Would Friday at maybe 3 o'clock work well for you, or how about Saturday at 10? I'm real short and sweet. Now, real quick, before I go on, I just want to kind of cover some of the highlights there. You'll notice some of the words are highlighted. Reason Senior Care Center is highlighted is because when our telemarketers call the clients, that's who they identify themselves as. Hello, this is Lisa with the Senior Care Center. I'm calling you to notify you of your eligibility for the new state-approved final expense life insurance benefits. So they know what it is. So final expense life insurance benefits is mentioned, so I'll make sure and mention that, and then I'll also make sure and mention their favorite color or maybe their favorite hobby. Again, you're going to get the recording. You can hear that. As a matter of fact, in the data that's broken down off of the lead that's generated, it has the name of the client and what they answered as their favorite color. So again, we're contacting them, and the reason that I'm doing this right out of the gate is because I want to eliminate the I'm not a telemarketer objection. Because what happens when you call someone from a number they do not recognize? More than likely, they don't answer the phone because they assume it's a telemarketer. So if I get someone on the phone, I want to let them know right away I'm not a telemarketer. I've had agents who they're calling, like, Jason, I got these leads and I'm not getting any appointments. I don't know what's going on. Well, let's first off, let's take a look at what you're saying when you call them. And they start off, hi, and they're branding themselves, which is fine. This is so and so with so and so company, and I'm calling you about the insurance. Now, of course, they know it's insurance. They know it's fine. We did say final expense life insurance in the call. That's recorded. They know that. But if you're not identifying who they spoke with, if you're not identifying their favorite color right away, and they just hear another name, and in their mind, oh, I'm waiting on a call from so and so, or from the Senior Care Center, Steve, or what have you. And then they have someone, calling, identifying with a different company, or not identifying the reason why they're calling. Again, this person picked up a phone from a number that they do not recognize, so they're thinking it's a telemarketer. Their objective is to get this person off the phone as fast as possible. I was reluctant enough to answer the call in the first place, so I'm going to try and get this person off the phone. I don't want to talk to a telemarketer. So our job is to identify we're not a telemarketer. You're expecting our call. You just spoke to the representative at the Senior Care Center, and you go right into it. The other thing that I do, I always say I only need 10 to 12 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. The reason that I do that is because I don't want the client thinking, oh gosh, I don't want to set an appointment with this person and have the long dreaded, 3 to 4 hour long appointment. That's what most people think. So by letting them know it'll be a short period of time, we'll get you taken care of right away, which day would work best for you. I give them the two options. The reason that I do that is because I want them to pick a time. If I call my client and I say, hey Bertha, this is Jason. I'm calling you about the benefits. I'm assigned to your file. I'm going to be out there this weekend. When would be good for me to come see you? What do you think they're going to say? Well, Jason, I got family coming in this weekend. We're really busy. We're going to try to go to the grandchildren's soccer games, and we're not going to have time for it this weekend. Don't have time. People don't have time. Life is happening for everyone. Life is busy for everyone. So we have to give them an option, because they're more than likely going to pick an option as opposed to answering the open-ended question is what time would be good for you. Well, no time is good for me. But if you give them, well, is Friday at 3 o'clock or maybe Saturday at 9, which would be better for you? Then they're thinking about which time would be better for them, and they're more than likely going to pick one. So just some key points there. Now, to kind of continue on with appointment setting, you want to solidify the appointment. So you've gotten them that you've identified, their favorite color. You've identified they talked to the senior care center. You've given them an option. They picked the time. Okay, Jason, great. Saturday at 9 o'clock is good for me. Okay, great. So I have your address at 1234 Preston Street. Is this correct? Yes, it is. Okay, now, as I'm coming down your street, will I find the address marked on the side of the house? Will it be on the mailbox or the curb? Where will I find it as I'm looking for it? Oh, well, it's on the side of the house. Okay, great. Now, what color is the house that I'm looking for? Well, it's a red brick house, a white frame house, whatever the case may be. Okay, great. And I like to ask at least a couple of questions. What I'm doing here, I'm solidifying the appointment by painting a mental visual of my arrival. This is letting the client know that I'm coming. It's painting that picture. They see in their head that I'm coming. It's going to help them remember that more. And this is going to help reduce the amount of no-shows, because when they hang up the phone, again, life happens. They may get another phone call from someone. They may get an invitation to somewhere in the next day or so and forget about the appointment. Whatever the case may be, life happens for everyone. So you want to try to solidify the appointment. The ones that are highlighted, these are pretty much, my favorite questions. Will I find the address marked on the curb, the mailbox, or the side of the house? Okay, as I'm driving down the street, what color is the house that I'm looking for? Again, they're telling me this. They're seeing me driving down the street looking for the address. They're have this mental picture of me looking for their house, the white frame house, and pulling, okay, great, Bertha, so we got you Saturday at 10:30. I look forward to seeing you. We'll see you then. Thank you very much. So again, another thing that I forgot to mention, whenever you sit down to set your appointments, make sure you're ready, your schedule ready. You want to have your time frames available that you're going to fit your clients in, so they know that this is your schedule that you're scheduling. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're not sure the times and all of a sudden you have your client fitting you into their schedule. Because again, telemarketed leads are generated by county. You don't want to drive from one end of the county to the next, especially if you're in a large county. So, just keep a lot of that in mind. Again, this appointment setting script is available in the back office. Some of the things that you may run into when setting appointments, which this first one, if you're doing the first paragraph right, if you're identifying senior care center, you spoke to Lisa about your final expense benefits and indicated that your favorite color was blue. If you're saying that right out of the gate as soon as they answer the phone, rarely will you get this objection. And if you do, maybe it's because it was said a little bit too quickly. You just have to jog their memory. They're going to remember that they spoke to someone at the senior care center. If not, you have the wrong person on the phone. But again, you know who you're looking for, you know who you're calling for, you hear the recording, so you'll know, if you have the right person on the phone. Sometimes you may get, well, I really, I didn't know anyone had to come see me. No, I don't want to see anyone. No, thank you. Well, Bertha, I understand. We see about 10 to 15 people a day. A lot of people may be reluctant to see us. We are able to help most families. I only need a few minutes of your time. I'll be in your area today, actually this afternoon, and tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So would this afternoon maybe at 6 o'clock work, or maybe tomorrow at 11? Which would work best for you? So you can see what I've done there. I've overcome the objection. and then I immediately give them a time. Again, because they're more than likely going to pick a time. Well, can I just get a quote over the phone? Mrs. Smith, I'd love to give you a quote over the phone. Believe me, that would make my job a lot easier. But I do have to, as a field underwriter, I do have to physically verify, you're not in a wheelchair on oxygen, nursing home, something to that effect. I'll be in your area this Friday and Saturday. Would Friday afternoon at maybe 3 o'clock or maybe Saturday afternoon at 4, which would work best for you? Overcome the objection and immediately give them an option. Again, they're more than likely going to pick one of those options. So what we just went over was appointment setting with the telemarketing leads for final expense. Now, door knocking is the best approach. I'm going to state it differently. Door knocking is the only approach with direct mail. I remember when, I first really started working the final expense market, just a lot was, it was really many years back. 2008, I could tell you. Mortgage market was started to die. I was really big in mortgage protection. And here's the deal. When I was working heavily in mortgage protection, I had a system that I ran by. On Tuesdays and Wednesdays, it was my phone days. I would do nothing but sit down and set appointments for the rest of my week. So Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I'm setting up appointments for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with rollover time on Sunday. And handling my business, turning in applications and everything on Monday. So I did that, and I wrote a lot of business. I wrote a lot of applications every weekend, week in and week out. Every single week I'd have anywhere from 10 to 20 applications every single week because I would focus on getting a minimum of 15 appointments, and I had a system. That's how I was running my mortgage protection business. It was with direct mail leads. Now, direct mail started becoming more difficult to generate during that time, during the burst and everything in mortgage protection. So I gravitated towards final expense. It was very similar to mortgage protection because it's a simplified issue product. It's a simplified issue market. No medical exam. I could get the clients covered quickly. I could get paid quickly. So I started working mortgage protection. I got a handful of leads. I got a handful of direct mail leads. I sat down just like I used to. I'm going to set up some appointments. I'm going to start writing final expense. So that's what I did. So as I sat down and started trying to set appointments, I fell flat on my face. I couldn't get appointments. I was having a hard time getting people connect to the mailer that they sent in, and it was just not working as smoothly as the appointment setting that I'd done in the past. And I remember going to this guy, Chris. He's in Illinois. He is Transamerica's top producer, does $25,000 in production with Transamerica every single month. The man is, and living in a cold state, he gets, shots in his back, because he back issues and stuff. But he is out there every day. And Chris told me, he goes, Jason, he goes, so what's going on? What are you doing? I went to him. He was a top producer. I was picking his brain. I was like, well, what are you doing differently that I'm not doing? How are you producing so much month in and month out? And he asked me, he goes, well, Jason, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm doing exactly what I did before. Again, it's a different market. Mortgage protection, I would pick up the phone and I'd call to set appointments with my direct mail leads. And final expense, so I told him, I was like, Chris, I got my leads. I sat down and I started setting my appointments. He's like, whoa, what do you mean you sat down and started setting your appointments? I'm like, yeah, this is my call days, and these were the days that I was going to go see them. He's like, well, that's your mistake right there. And he goes, in final expense, the phone is not your friend. As a matter of fact, it's a phone barrier because people are going to have, seniors especially, are going to have a harder time relating to the letter that they mail back in with the phone call that you're making. But when you show up with their own handwriting and that letter that they remember pulling out of their junk mail and deciding that this was something that I have an interest in, I'm going to fill it out and mail it back, and you show up with that in your hand with their own handwriting, that's a world of difference in how you receive from the client. So here I am, shoot myself in the foot, and I took those same stack of leads, and I went and I knocked the doors, and it was night and day difference. The people were so receptive, and we built a whole marketing training system on that. And with that, that's why it is very important that with telemarketing, it's okay to set appointments, but with direct mail, you need to door knock your direct mail. Now, consider this also. With direct mail, we generate those by zip code. So it's not like you're going to be driving all over the place to go see these people. You have them in one condensed area, and you could do what I did, what Chris did, what BJ did. You take your leads, your direct mail leads that you receive for the week, you route them out. And you do this the night before. And then you take people that you mailed the letter to but didn't mail it back and route out an additional few more people to go see. So now you have your people that mailed it back that responded, and now you have anywhere from 15 to 25 more stops to make that day. So, that night you've got your route planned out. I use mapquest.com/route planner. And you just go to mapquest.com, go to route planner. You can enter multiple addresses and click on fastest route, and it will give you the route from your home to all your stops the fastest way. And that's what I did. I did that often. So start my day, pack my lunch, I take my stuff with me, get out in the car, and I'd go knock doors. And to this day, that is the best for agents that are out there that work full-time in the final expense business across the country. That is what they do. That's the common denominator. When I'm on a phone with an agent that is producing, that's out there making it happen, I hear the car door in the background. Oh, I'm pulling up to my client's house. I'm about to go knock this door. Or they're telling me what they just ran into, or how they just knocked on a door of a home, but the client wasn't there, but the neighbor asked what was going on. I ended up selling the neighbor. I mean, all of these things happen when you're out there in the field generating action, making it happen. So again, door knocking is the only approach with direct mail. You route them out, you go see your clients, it increases the chances of closing. People are super nice. They're not going to write you off as a telemarketer, and you have to think of it as a handwritten invitation to come see me. I just got a handwritten invitation from Charlie here to go see him about his final expense benefits, and the script is so simple. You show up, you have the lead card in hand. If you want to utilize one of our badges, order a badge from us. It has your name, your license number, company logo on it. So when you show up to the door, you have that immediate identification around your neck. You have the lead card in your hand. You knock on the door. They answer the door. Hey, Mrs. Smith, I happen to be in the area. I have the card that you mailed back requesting your final expense benefits that you're eligible for. You have a few minutes where we can sit down and see what you qualify for. And at this point, you're almost kind of leaning forward, reaching for the door, kind of wiping your feet as if they're going to invite you right in. And in most cases, they're going to invite you right in, or they're going to say, well, now's not a good time, or my husband or my wife is not home right now. Okay, great. I'm in the area often. I'll actually be delivering a few policies over the next few days. How about I stop by tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow morning, or maybe this Friday or maybe this Saturday morning? Again, now notice I didn't say a specific time. And the reason I do is because I'm always in the area. I'm going to stop by. I don't want to set up a specific time, but I do want to confirm the time frame that both of them would be there, because I want to see both clients. And my ultimate goal is to go in and sit down and present. But again, sometimes now not maybe a good time, or the spouse may not be home. So again, you can see how with this approach, you're drastically increased. That's why we have such a high close rate with direct mail. Because think of this, with telemarketing leads, we're closing anywhere from 10 to 30%. So if you get 10 of them, you're going to get 1 to 3 sales. Now, if you get 1 sale, you're still profitable. If you get 2, you're very profitable. If you get 3, you're doing very, very well, almost making $10 for every dollar that you invested. Now, with direct mail, you're closing anywhere from 40 to 50% as a new agent. Seasoned agents are closing higher than that, anywhere from 60 to 70%. And there's so many factors involved as to why that is. Again, we covered a lot of that. The people have taken the initiative. This is a written invitation for you to go see them. They're going to remember it when you show up to the door with it in hand, as opposed to the overcoming the I'm not a telemarketer. So again, understanding the market, understanding the client base that we're dealing with, understanding the best approach with the marketing that we use, the best approach with telemarketing, the best approach with direct mail, that is going to be the biggest difference in the amount of profits that you make in the final expense market. Don't do like I did. I'm telling you now, don't come in and get you a handful of direct mail leads and try to set appointments. you want to get those generated and you want to go see the client. Because again, that's a written invitation, for you to go see the client. So, with that, hopefully you got some really good insight on the final expense market, how to market, kind of what to say to generate the appointments. We have the in-home presentation recorded, so we have what to say available in the back office, so take advantage of that. And, with that, I want to thank everyone for being on. My name is Jason Martinez. You have attended the Summit Alliance Advantage Thursday webinar over the final expense market. So thanks again for being on. This concludes our webinar.